All right, we're definitely gonna get copywritten for that. Welcome back to your favorite motherfucking podcast, couple motherfucking binds pied.
Shout out Kid Lowry and
I
Justin
thought it was
Bieber.
Leroy. Is it Leroy or Lori?
Kid Leroy and Justin
Leroy,
Bieber.
Laroi.
Need you to stay.
Okay, just asking.
Wake up. And I'm still wasted still.
It sounds like Machine Gun Kelly lyrics. How do I already need a fucking beer, dude?
They're just
I'm
pulling
guzzling.
down your throat.
It's football Sunday. I don't watch football.
Put your picks in now for the late game.
Ba-da-da-bow-bow.
Don't know who's playing in the late game when this comes out.
Taylor has it written on the calendar on the fridge.
But if you're betting on the Thursday night game, take the over.
Yeah.
Take the over.
All right. What are we talking about today?
Dude, we're diving deep today.
Ooh, that was good.
We're going where no man subbed has ever gone before.
Except for maybe James Cameron.
That is true. That is true.
No, he didn't go.
He went deep, but he didn't go deep enough.
How deep?
If you haven't picked it up,
James. Yeah,
we're talking about the deep fucking
deep blue, baby.
We're talking about the 85% of it, the 80% that no one's ever saw. The possibilities.
Jesus Christ. It took them 4 hours to get to 35,853 feet.
4 hours.
Into the Pacific Ocean. Breaking the record for deepest dive ever. At the very bottom, he found colorful rocky structures, weird critters, and the ever-pervasive mark of humankind. Plastic.
Oh,
that's sad.
That's disgusting.
So yeah, we're talking about the ocean.
Talking about the deep blue. Cuckoo.
Which we haven't done yet, which also baffles us.
Yeah. How have we not?
I mean, I don't want to say there's not conspiracies revolving around the ocean, because like Bermuda Triangle shit like that.
Oh yeah.
But we're not even going to talk about that today. We're just talking about how fucking insane the ocean is. It's arguably scarier than space, which I've heard before. And when I get really high, like when I did shrooms a couple of weeks ago, I watched a bunch of ocean documentaries and it was really scary.
You get lost in the beauty.
Every time I get really high, I just watch ocean documentaries about weird shit.
Oh,
there's a lot of weird shit in there, dude.
There's so much weird shit. Half of the shit we don't even know exists.
I mean,
it knows we do.
As you just said, we discovered, or we haven't explored at least 80% of the ocean. That's terrifying.
We're lowballing that number too, because who knows how many trenches.
Yeah. Also, how do you even quantify that number?
Yeah.
Like, who was the guy that was like, oh, 80%? And everyone was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, we've seen about 80, 20%. We're still missing about 80. But
like, that's the thing. If the majority isn't explored, how do we know that that's the majority? We may have only discovered 1% of the ocean.
Math. That's how.
Which neither of us are good at. So that's fun. Are you good at math?
No, I'm
terrible. I'm good at weed math.
You're good at wee math?
No, weed.
Oh,
math.
Wii. I thought you were saying like like you had a Wii game where you would do math problems on it.
Wii math, so much better than Wii Sports. Sponsor us. Oh, math. Wow. You had the numbers wrong, and all the guys in the background do the bowling thing when you throw it. Oh. Whoa! No, and they all jump up in the air. Whoa!
Fucking Wii Sports,
dude. Great fucking game. Anyway, let's talk about the ocean. So this all started. Kollin sent me. I'm redlining so hard.
Yeah, I sent JMac.
Kollin sent me a post. We'll try and toss a screenshot in if we could get a good one, but it's a submarine.
Oh, pause, you son of a gun.
But it's a submarine, and it has this odd looking. You compared it to one of the lionfish, which we'll put a picture in now of a lionfish. Olivia said it looked like sort of like a piece of seaweed that was
drifting by
closer to the camera while a submarine's in the background. he sent me this, and my first thing was, who the fuck took this picture?
Yeah,
Because submarines don't have windows, so it's not
No.
like two submarines were cruising and the other guys were like, "Oh shit, look at that." A diver can't go as low as a submarine, but it is kind of light. It could be a very shallow submarine, but in that case, this large
it'd be
creature wouldn't
visible
be near
more.
it. So now we'll put the picture we're talking about in.
I'm like, huh?
Take it in. I'll leave it here for a while.
Soak it up a little bit. That dark figurey shadow.
And
What could it be?
I guess I sort of immediately debunked it with who took that picture,
That was the
which
first.
is valid.
Who,
Because
yeah.
who took that picture?
How are you going to say that a submarine, a lone submarine is just floating through the ocean with something next to it?
And some
Someone
dude
took
with
a
a
picture.
camera happens to be anywhere near it.
Yeah,
The
who's-
ocean's a big place. We only know roughly 20, possibly 1% of it.
And who would be the
me.
dickhead floating next to the submarine and not let the other people know that there's a giant creature next to
I
him?
mean, in that case, how would he let what he like knocks on the side? How would he let those people
Radio.
know? Divers don't have radios.
Submarines have radios.
Submarines have radios. A diver with a camera wouldn't have a fucking CV radio on him tuned to the frequency that the submarine's on.
Needless to say, some of you might just immediately feel this is debunked right from the picture, but we're not focusing on the picture.
Yeah, so that's what I was getting.
We're focusing on the
I was like,
ocean.
Kollin, who took that picture? And then he was like, oh, you could kind of see it.
Oh yeah, you can.
And then Kollin was like, yeah, you're right. What should we talk about? But we haven't discussed the insanity that is the fucking ocean.
Yeah. I'm going to start with a little video I saved with a few things that.
Okay, please do. I'm going to grab a beer quick. You want one?
Yes, please. It goes through some of the sounds that we've heard, the strangest sounds that we've ever heard in the ocean.
Weird. That's the other thing. So many weird noises come out of the ocean.
It goes through 5. The few of them they are already explained, but I think it was 2 of them were still to this day no explanation. One was scratching that was coming from the bottom of the Mariana Trench. It sounded like scratching on the walls or scratching on the sea floor, which is, I mean, who knows what's down there? Couple explanations. Could be a ship, could be a giant rock moving. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. The other sound, there's a name to it. I can't remember the name they gave it, but it was something like Bessie or something. But it was a low hum that they couldn't correlate to any whale or any known sea creature that went on for about the span of how humpback whales call each other, like the except the whole entire thing was low, dark, like
some Cthulhu shit, bro.
Yeah.
You think
Like the South Park
Cthulhu? You think
Yes.
Cthulhu's real?
Well, think about how many different regions spanned across the earth that had no contact with each other, all have stories in their lineage of creatures in the ocean.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is like a lot of these like tribal stories, for lack of a better term, like most of them are like crocodiles, great whites,
Yes.
giant squid,
Some
like
of
the
them are-
classic, like a kraken attacking a ship. Like you can possibly attribute that to a giant squid. And I watched a BBC thing about it saying that like how sharks attack surfers because
Mhm.
it looks like a seal. Like sometimes when there were these giant wooden structures that were significantly smaller than the boats we have today, a giant squid might see that and try
Underside
and
of a
attack
whale.
it. And it's not like Pirates of the Caribbean Kraken. I wonder if Krakens are real. No, because then there'd be no fucking giant squid. They'd eat them.
Well, what if krakens were or giant squids were a descendant of a larger
Yeah.
whatever arthropod or whatever?
I don't
octopus
know
is
what
what
they're
it's called.
called. Yeah.
That, I mean, like everything else back in the day was just much larger because it could be.
Yeah. True. Well, that's another thing. One of the things I watched, not on shrooms. One night I just got really high and watched ocean stuff. I was smoking some pot. Don't tell my mom.
Sorry, Mom.
And no, just kidding. She called me the other day. They were in New Hampshire. Side
Oh,
story.
that's awesome.
And she's like, "Do you think me and your father should do edibles?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yes, Mom.
As I was eating an edible, she called me, and I'm like, hello.
Hello, Mom.
So then I showed it to her, and I was like, "Yeah, call me when you get some." She never called me, but
Never got him.
what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I watched this thing that now that they can go deeper and deeper in the ocean, they're starting to discover like these prehistoric sharks and shit
Oh yeah.
that grow to these outrageous sizes because they move slower because of the pressure. So somehow the deeper you go, the bigger shit gets over time. So like anglerfish, the ones with the weird light,
Oh yeah.
they're not that big because they're relatively new in terms of like the age of the world, like the earth. So they're like a relatively new species. But these sharks that have been around since like the Jurassic period are fucking gigantic, like 30-foot long fucking sharks are just like swimming around eating whale falls. And a whale fall is when a whale dies and then it sinks and then a bunch of shit eats it.
Isn't it weird?
Have you seen a video of a whale fall? It's disgusting. There's all these big ass like roach looking things, but they're white, and like
because of the absence
squids
of light, yeah.
and like these giant fucking sharks and like fucking starfish and shit. It's so, dude, the ocean is honestly, in my opinion, scarier than space.
So Shark Week,
space is pretty fucking terrifying.
It's baffling.
Obviously, we haven't explored that much of space, but it's sketchy to think that like you go to the beach and like you don't know what the fuck you're in the water with.
You could be in the water with something about 100 yards out that's the size of 2 school buses.
Yeah, but luckily all the scary shit lives like really deep down.
So you know how sharks?
Because I don't think sharks are that scary.
No,
like sharks
no,
not. Because
they're
like,
scary, but
well, think about like Hawaii. Like they're surrounded by. That's how you say it. They're surrounded by all different types and sorts and species of shark. And their whole belief is like, oh, well, if you respect the shark will respect you.
Yes.
And I respect the shit out of that. That's a lot of respect right there. So sharks don't really scare me.
Oh, they still scare me. The respect I
picked
have
up
for
a
me
shark
scares
once. I was skimboarding and a sand shark beached itself. And it was like a little one.
Papa JMac gonna
but
put
it was
you
in
back.
there's this beach near my house, and it has like a pretty deep dugout trench for boats to pass through.
Okay.
And we were skimboarding on like the edge of the boat inlet. And yeah, this nurse shark, there's like always fish and there's like a ton of wildlife for some reason. I guess maybe because it's deep. I don't know. But
probably a good birthing spot. Not many predators.
Yeah, well, also it leads to like a very protected sort of tiny little inlet, like
a little estuary sort of deal.
Yeah, kind of. So like there's always fish and shit swimming around. So I assume it was going after that. But it swam up like super quick, jumped out of the water and just landed on the beach and was like flopping around. And we all kind of looked at each other like, what the fuck did we do? And me and my buddy picked it up like by the tail because it was big enough. It took 2 of us and we like threw it back in the water.
Damn.
But like, I mean, also sand sharks aren't that threatening, but
no,
I don't know. Like great whites don't really scare me.
Well, here's the thing.
Because they're not trying to eat you. It's like being afraid of like bears.
Yeah, it's like, or being afraid of a cat scratching you. Like, what the fuck do you expect a cat to do? It's a shark. It doesn't have limbs. It can't touch you. It can't.
Well, not even that. It's a wild animal. It's investigating. Yeah, and its only thing is I'm gonna investigate with my fucking face.
Because that's how they sense everything.
And it's unfortunate when like surfers get like 2 limbs lopped off by a giant shark, but also like you are in their house. You're invading in their home.
You went into their house
like
to catch a sick wave.
If a shark's walked in right now, we would probably beat the shit out of it. Because what are you doing in my house?
Fillet up that shark.
Land sharks? How shark meat tastes. Can we talk about swordfish for a second? That shit is weird.
That's also evolutionary.
Swordfish steaks are fantastic, which is why I started thinking about when I said I wonder how sharks taste. I thought about swordfish.
In an evolutionary standpoint, what the fuck could why would you need that?
I don't know.
It's like a narwhal.
Because it's like, yeah, dude, narwhals are
like, what the
fucking weird as
fuck?
shit too. But it's like,
God's just drunk making creatures.
yeah. Because even if I imagine if a swordfish, like, I believe the swords are like a mating thing. Like they actually like sword fight.
Oh yeah, the males
underwater to get the female. But in terms of like a predatory thing, like if you spear a fish, how do you don't have a hand to be like, oh, nom 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 nom. Like, how do you
just thrust hard enough and hope it slides
thrash
down
around till it falls off or something?
Yeah, maybe thrash back and forth and it acts like a sword, cuts it in half, and then they swim up to it.
Like, even the marine wildlife we know is insane. Like, dude, I was watching this fucking video the other day on Instagram, and it was a blue whale. And a blue whale is like the size of like one, if not two, fucking football fields.
You can walk through their aortic valve in their heart.
Really?
A human can walk through their aortic valve. That's how large they are.
That's insane, dude.
And
that goes to show like the rumor, I guess. Like
the Moby Dick rumor?
Whatever. That doesn't really have anything to do with what we're talking about. But maybe it's just because they have so much space to grow. Like, think about like a swimming pool. Think about floating in like the deep end of a swimming pool.
That's the thing with sharks. If you get a baby shark and put it in a fish bowl,
it doesn't grow.
It's not going to grow.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, when you win a carnival goldfish.
Yeah.
And people say the bigger the tank, the bigger the fish gets. It's the same shit with literally, I was explaining to you earlier.
Yeah.
I put this in a bigger pot and it grew.
Of a plant.
Also, shouts out Shannon and Lewis if you ever watch this. I'm taking care of this little bitch.
But got a fucking stalk.
Dude, imagine if humans worked like that.
Oh my
God. Like, if you lived in like Montana in this giant farmhouse with nothing around you, you could just exponentially grow.
In the olden days, remember how history noted that the Nordics were always bigger than the classic Europeans?
Shouts out giants.
Shout out giants. And it's even known with animals, the further north you go, the bigger the mammals get.
Shouts out Pisleys.
Terrifying. So scared. But yeah, it's like if you have no natural predators once you hit a certain age, why would you ever have to worry about anything? Once you get past a certain age,
whales don't have natural. Do they? I don't think sharks.
Humpback whales has giant squids.
No, sperm whales and giant squids.
Sperm whales and giant squids.
Sperm whales, which is also fucking insane. Because let's talk about whales for a second.
We're going on whales and dolphins. We're going hard right now.
They have lungs,
right?
And sperm whales come up, take a breath of air, dive down to where the sun doesn't hit, fight a giant squid, and if they survive, swim back up and take another breath.
Imagine. Okay, so
like at least humpback whales and like fucking they're not basking whales, those are basking sharks, but there's the whales that eat like plankton and they have the hairy. Are those humpback whales? Those might be humpback
whales. Are humpback. Those are all whales eat plankton and shrimp.
Most whales and dolphins don't dive down to where the sun doesn't hit, fight giant squid, and then come back up. And Moby Dick is based off a sperm whale.
Yeah, aggressive male sperm.
And sperm whales have fucking teeth.
Oh yeah, they don't have the acrylic fucking hanging thing. They have actual.
We'll put a sperm whale right here.
Right. Yeah.
What if I just put like a cum shot right there?
All right. JMac vinegar strokes are right there.
It's getting weird.
Sperm whale.
It's like some fucking never mind. I'm not even gonna say that out loud.
Look at me while I finish.
But that's another thing about the ocean. Like, creatures within it rely on breathing air.
Yeah, unless you got those gills.
That's insane.
Well, that's evolution for you. That's where it's like, well, this land mammal decided to go into the water.
And that's fine. But that also goes to show, and shouts out the episode we just finished, 66. Fucking evolution happens so slowly.
Yeah.
Because dolphins and whales have been around for presumably, I mean, I'll Google it if you want me to, but I'm just gonna go out on
your word.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume they've been here for a fucking while. And
good
like the
amount of
fact
time.
that they still haven't evolved out of lungs and blowholes is wild.
Little bit, just a tad.
Also,
But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
what the fuck is good with jellyfish? Boneless, organless creatures that float on currents and use venom to eat small fish, but they don't have organs.
Talk about a real
That's
life
just
fucking
like
alien.
that is straight up population control.
Well, jellyfish are taking over.
Also, can we talk about how coral is alive?
Let's talk about
Dude,
how
the
coral
ocean
alive.
is so fucking
But
weird.
before we get off whales,
This episode, I feel like it's going to be a long one.
might be. But before we get off whales, do you know that beluga whales have been recorded mimicking humans?
What do you mean?
So
Beluga whales are the ones with the weird
beluga whales
heads,
with the
right?
giant
Yeah.
like little
The-
balloon
the
shit.
like whitish one. Yeah.
They're all
Put a beluga
they
whale right here.
have been recorded mimicking human voices.
Wait,
Divers have actual video. Let me pull it up right now because it's on the video I'm talking about. I think I sent it to you, but they mimic the sounds. I think one of them is or something like that. Here it is. No, that's the dragons one.
Dude, shouts out Raffy. Baby beluga in the deep blue sea.
Oh fuck, I lost it. But either way,
and he swims so free.
either way, you could look it up and you'll find it probably automatically. But yeah, beluga whales can mimic human voices underwater, and divers have caught it.
But what does that mean? Like, I know you did the
So
like,
now,
but whales already
there's-
make that up. Like, you say that, and I picture a beluga whale swimming past a diver and being like, "Yo,
well, if even that, even if a whale can go, that's
instead
a
of just that like
whale.
whistle or like
Instead
the
of
yeah."
it's a. Can you imagine hearing that underwater?
No, I'd shit my pants.
You're like, Steve, did you just hum at me? No, Jeff, I didn't.
Then it fucking eats you both.
And then a
ocean's
beluga
a
whale just
terrifying
pops up in
place.
front of you.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I didn't know that.
They're like parrots. They're parrots of the sea.
That's crazy. So many just insane shit. Like you said earlier, lionfish. I think I already said we'll put a photo in, but they're fucking crazy.
Giant jellyfish that grow
The
to
man
the
of war.
size of whales.
Not that big.
Not the baby whales.
The biggest man of war on record, I want to say, is like, it's big.
Oh, it's big.
Biggest man o' war. Jellyfish. Holy shit.
How big is it?
Man of war tentacles, the biggest on record, is 165 feet long.
What?
Oh, no, the man of war isn't the one we're talking about. It's the man of war is this one. But the fact that
that's the one with the crazy tentacles.
this
Yeah.
tiny ass jellyfish can get up to 165 feet long is fucking insane. Lion's mane, that's what we're talking about. These are literally bigger than humans.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna put this picture in real quick.
That's a real fucking person next to that.
Save that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, these jellyfish are crazy and they'll kill the fuck out of you. But
Yes, they
they
will.
mostly live in Japan. The man of war mostly live in Australia, of course.
What's with those
The
parts of the
Portuguese
world
man of
having
war
insane
tentacles
seas?
grow as long as 165 feet. That is insane. And I just watched something about man of wars when I was really high the other day. And their venom is like the most deadly. Like if you even like touch a man of war, unless there's like an ambulance on the beach, you're gonna die. Like man of wars fuck people up. And then the lion's mane jelly is also very venomous, but just the sheer size of it is insane. I don't know if people have been killed by lion's mane jellies. And then red jellies, like these are what we have out on Long Island. That shit'll fuck you up.
Isn't it a myth that if
I
you pee on a jellyfish sting,
No,
Oh, it's real?
Yeah, I swam through a red jelly during a triathlon because I used to be healthy, and
Kid used to fuck.
I swam through the jelly, and then it was actually after the triathlon. I finished it, and then me and my cousin, who I ran it with, since you finished back at the beach we started at, we're like, fuck it, let's like go for a swim. We're all sweaty and shit.
Oh no.
And we had a paddle board, but I was paddling like I was surfing, and a jelly came up over the board, and from above my eyebrow down to my feet, you could see, and my arms and shit, it looked like I got hit by lightning. Like I just had these big red streaks all the way down my body, except for my bathing suit. Thank God. And my aunt said, "Oh, put like water on it," which you are not fucking supposed to do. So she dumps a water bottle over me and pours like icy cooler. That shit gets worse. We go home, we find out you could either use piss or white vinegar. So we ended up dousing me in white vinegar, and it helped a lot. But then I had scars for a while.
Oh my God.
But it is not a myth, because I have literally had people piss on me while getting stung like surfing and shit. It is not a fucking myth. For some reason, vinegar and piss work.
If I had to, if it was a dire situation, I would not hold back. I would unleash Niagara Falls wherever.
But also, it's making it seem like it's like no, it was very. I was
take my piss.
I got stung down like the whole. Ew, dude, my feet are so dirty. I got stung down like from knee to foot one time while we were surfing, and I had one of my buddies piss on me. But like it was like just fucking do it.
Just pull your pants down and pee on me. Come on.
It wasn't like nice cock, bro. You know?
You kidding me? I would make eye contact with this penis the whole entire time they're peeing on me. I want to see what that serpent's doing.
At the time, I was like an angsty, like, dude, this is gay as fuck. Just help me out, dude.
Oh,
not
yeah, that is true.
Not that being gay as fuck is wrong.
But nowadays, if your hog's out, I got to take a peek.
I'm not even stung by a jellyfish come pee on me. I don't give a shit.
I'm just saying, if I'm in a gym locker room and there are dongs out, maybe it's just me, but my curious mind has to take a peek.
Yeah.
I got to see what's going on.
No, I agree.
Call me a loser. Call me what you want. I got to take a peek.
We went from underwater to cocks real quick, but no, that's not a myth. Dude, the ocean is insane, and it's kind of scary because like as technology advances and we can explore deeper parts and like go places we've never gone before, it's terrifying to imagine what we might find. Because like I said, the deeper you go, the bigger shit gets, and the deepest we've been, shit is already fucking terrifying. But also it's weird because I watch these documentaries and then it's like you see the like submersible sub like hit ground and like all this shit comes up, and then all these weird creatures start coming out the more they're there, and they're like, oh, now they're on the sea floor. But we've never been. Well, I guess the sea floor is kind of if it's weird because it's like inverted mountains.
Yes, that's
like in terms of the ocean, we've never been to the top of Mount Everest,
which is the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Yeah. But I think that's way deeper than the actual.
Yes, you could fit Mount Everest on top of itself, and then it would be the bottom of the trench, I think.
2 Mount Everest equal 1 Mariana.
I think that's how the calculation goes.
See, I want to Google how deep is the Mariana Trench, but I don't think we know.
Recordings of something scratching the bottom of it? Dude. So if
on average, the ocean is 2.5 miles deep.
On average.
That's some pussy shit. How deep is deepest part of the ocean? 36,161 feet. But see, how do we know that? How do we?
You know how we send satellites into space?
It's 7 miles deep. How? Wait. Okay, so 7 miles deep. How many?
Like you send a satellite into space. If we just drop a little probe into the ocean that's sending signals back of depth and pressure, whatever it is, we might have a good inclination.
So the ocean is 2 miles deeper than. Okay, let me rephrase this. The ocean is 7 miles deep. A commercial jet that you take when you go on international trips flies at about 5 miles high. So the ocean is 2 miles deeper than you are up in the air when you're on a plane. The ocean is 2 miles deeper than where the clouds start.
And you're telling me it's implausible to think that there are monsters of the folklore that were told in the olden days still around?
I think it's possible. I just don't know, because then it all breaks down to pressure. So, like, can a giant squid, if it dives deep down, survive the pressure and then continue to get bigger? Like the sharks down there have been down there for literally hundreds of millions of years. That's evolution.
Depending on the size,
and also it's insane that literal dinosaur sharks are swimming around right now, because when the asteroid hit, they were so deep down, they were like, yo, what happened?
Oh shit, you're telling me there was an asteroid?
I mean, they live in absolute darkness.
Yeah.
Also, that's fucking insane. The sun can't penetrate water.
Can't reach
after a certain thing.
Too thick.
There's this great website called I don't know what the actual URL is, but it's like the depth of the ocean in comparison to like large things. So I think it starts on like a 6-foot man, and it has like how deep that would be, and then like the Eiffel Tower, the World Trade Center, the Burj Khalifa, like 8 football fields, fucking as high as a jet flies. And then when you get all the way to the bottom, it's just, you have to turn your brightness up. I found this on Reddit, but it's just Cthulhu. But it's like, it's pretty fucking cool. It might be like the scale of the ocean or something. There's also a great website, nothing to do with what we're talking about, called The Scale of the Universe. And that's really fucking cool.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Oh, but now that you've got me thinking of Cthulhu, isn't it weird that multiple civilizations had depictions of a creature that looked like Cthulhu?
Yeah, we already said that.
Well, I know, but that's just a being of lore.
I mean, it's weird, but like I said, like
it could what else would they see that had a squid head with arms and legs?
But it could be like how the Egyptians drew human bodies with cat heads on them. Like that didn't exist.
No, but you're telling me they would probably treat it as a god,
these
which would mean they would put some sort of human body on it.
These South American, Central American civilizations who are surrounded by water on both sides are bound to eventually encounter a squid or an octopus or a giant squid, maybe, now, if one got beached, because that also happens.
That is true. They do get beached.
But it's just that person's interpretation of that. I don't think there's this giant monster living deep under the ocean with Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean's face.
Do you fear death?
Do I fear death?
Do you fear the dark abyss?
A little bit. Are you doing Davy Jones?
100 souls. Yeah, Jack Sparrow. Oh my god,
those movies are good.
Who is he? Before hold on, I'm losing my point. Oh, there it is. It's well known though that they drew what they saw because they could not write. So you're telling me,
yeah, but what I'm saying,
every single depiction of that creature though, you're telling me it was out of folklore, or do you it had to come from somewhere? Someone had to have drawn the first original thing. I mean,
okay, but also
that's a very vivid imagination to make that up.
I'm debunking, bro.
Bring it.
Think about how weird an octopus or a squid looks to us.
Extraterrestrial.
Yeah. So let's say you see one. Also think about how you're drawing on presumably rock.
Yes.
With a rock. You can't, at that point, I'd assume there was no real scope of 3D drawing.
True.
So you're going to draw this 2D image of a 3D creature that looks alien to begin with. So if you took a squid or an octopus, cut it in half, and then rolled it out like a fucking map of the world, it would look in my opinion, kind of like Cthulhu, where the eyes are in the front and it has this weird tentacle beard.
Well, why would they put a human body on it? Even if you rolled it out, even if you rolled a squid out.
I don't fucking know.
But that's just
maybe
it.
they finished a drawing of it and they're like, let's fuck with other people.
No, oh my gosh. Can you imagine if they were trolling us that hard and we took it that serious? But at the same time, I don't think they had a sense of humor.
Why not?
Well, they definitely had some sort of timely sense of humor.
But also they sacrifice people. So I guess maybe you're right.
So if they're seeing a giant squid, there's probably depictions of squid somewhere. And then there's depiction of a squid with a fucking giant muscular body.
But is Cthulhu like this Jack Davy Jones?
Yes, Cthulhu. If over the centuries the depiction of him has been squid head with human-esque body.
Really? I thought, but like gigantic.
Oh yeah, dude, he comes out of the ocean.
I thought Cthulhu was like the end scene of the Rick and Morty intro.
No.
That's what I thought it was.
If
I didn't know it had human features, I thought it was this weird, like dragon-esque squid type thing.
Yeah, in most depictions, they say Cthulhu was one of those creatures that would come out of the ocean and be able to stand. So it's like it swam around. It's like
Godzilla.
But when pretty much. But when it stood up, it was able to stand no matter where it was in the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know. The ocean is a fucking crazy place.
Yeah, we're not talking about Loch Ness monster shit. No, we're talking about
no, but also Loch Ness is bullshit. Because Loch is, I want to say Gaelic, which is Ireland's mother language. Loch means lake. So the idea that there's this weird prehistoric creature swimming around a fucking lake in, I think Loch Ness is in it's either Switzerland or Sweden.
Loch Ness?
It's in one of the S European countries. It's a real place.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
Obviously. Loch Ness is in Scotland. Okay. I was kind of on the money there. Scotland, which is very close to Ireland. Loch just means lake. So the idea that there's this weird fucking thing in it makes no sense. And that's why we're not talking about it. But sorry about that. I was going to piss my pants.
Break.
We're back.
So this automatically just gets rid of all the Cthulhu talk we just had.
Good.
Because Cthulhu is a fictional cosmic entity created by writer H.P. Lovecraft and was introduced in his short story, The Call of Cthulhu. So
what else did
fuck
he
me.
Write? He's like super famous for something.
Now, on to the next thing. I want to bring into the conversation the talk of sea serpents. Sea serpent.
What is a sea serpent?
If we're going off definition, any serpent is a snake-like creature.
Oh shit. H.P. Lovecraft is from New England. He's one of ours. Yeah, his most famous work is the Cthulhu book.
Yep. Now,
Cthulhu Mythos. I thought he wrote something like really famous. I know the name. Continue. Sorry.
No, I was hoping that there was a book that I knew. But why it just even during
he helped create D&D.
No way.
Yeah, I mean that's what Wikipedia says.
Well, Wikipedia is not that trustful, but
like he didn't help like create D&D, but people took his writings and made a board game out of it.
Okay.
So sea serpents? What is a sea serpent? Because to me that literally means like
sea snake.
Yeah. So dude, also wait, hold on. Snakes live underwater.
Yeah. What?
Did you see that video? It went like super viral of the surfer and this like crazy venomous snake swims up and gets, dude, I would fucking shit myself. And then sharks would come and eat me. Have you heard the rumor that if you shit in water, it's like more attractive to sharks than blood?
Get out of here.
I forget what it's called. There's some like goofy slang term. It's like, it's not brown chum, but it's something like that.
Brown chum?
Yeah, but yeah, apparently if you see a shark and shit yourself, it'll definitely attack you. That's probably not true, but just funny.
Imagine they just get high. You know, in Finding Nemo,
high on human shit.
You remember
what you're saying?
That's where I was about to go. In Finding Nemo, when Bruce smells Dory's blood and loses it. What if that's what shit particles do to sharks?
Well,
They just smell the
what.
shit and they're like, hello.
Well, that's the thing with blood. Like, oh, sharks can smell blood from a
Yeah,
mile
but
away.
what if shit intensifies it?
Also, how the fuck do you smell blood? What does that even mean?
Well,
How do
all
we
their
know
sensors
that?
are right in their nose, so they probably
That's
have that like
fine, but they don't
metallic.
have like nostrils, do
No,
they?
but
No, they don't.
no.
They have gills.
So they probably have that like metallic sense that okay, I'm sensing something that's
Yeah, I
not
guess.
common
A
with the water.
mile away, though.
That's a little sketchy. I can understand bears and lions smelling it a mile away.
No, even that. A mile's well, actually, I guess not really, because also rumor has it you can smell weed from a mile away. But that might just be high guys
To the well-trained
talking shit.
nose. Yeah. I feel like, yeah. If dogs can find people in the pitch black woods,
True.
then it does not shock
Bloodhounds.
me that sharks are able to sense blood from
But
about a mile
dogs
away.
follow a path. Like, and they have noses. How do sharks smell blood? You know what? Fuck it.
We got to look.
We're already
Maybe
this
they
deep.
lock onto
I've
it.
looked up so much shit.
Maybe they lock onto the
How?
sense or the frequency because don't they go off frequencies like electromagnetic frequencies with what
but
they
that's
feel?
what I'm saying.
So maybe they lock
How do
onto that
sharks
field.
smell blood so far away? We're clicking.
Oh, here
that
we
one.
go.
Sharks can smell blood from up to a quarter mile away. Okay, cool.
Hey.
And this is from sciencefocus.com. So how do they smell? Because they don't have noses.
Do the gills work as a nose?
Depending on the chemical and the species of shark. At the top end, that's about 1 drop of blood in a small swimming pool. But how do they smell
Math.
it? How do they smell it?
Tell them about
How
the
do
math,
sharks smell
baby.
blood? I might do like a quick cut of this whole thing because it's taking a while. How do sharks smell? From aquarium.co.za.
Whoa.
Well, the idea that sharks have super sniffers that they can use to sniff out the minutest amounts of blood in vast bodies of water is for the most part true, but greatly embellished. Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you.
Just under the snout of a shark are 2 small openings. Oh, they do have nasal Oh, shit. Sharks
What?
have noses. Well, we knew sharks have noses. I didn't know they had nose holes. Okay, well, that answers that. I'm not going to read anymore. So sharks have noses now.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess they always have because they've existed.
They've always had noses, I guess. I wonder where the water goes when they open their nose.
Right?
Does it just go? Well, their mouth is always open, so what the fuck does it
Well,
matter
it's
if they get
also
water up their
maybe
nose?
it's as simple as like a human nose because your nose connects to your mouth.
Yeah, so maybe it just goes.
Well, no, it probably goes through the nose into the mouth, out the gills, and that's how they breathe. Holy shit. Are we dumb?
We might
now
be
that I read
stupid.
that, I'm like, wait, that's so simple and makes so much sense.
Hey, if there's a marine biologist watching this, can you just comment under and tell us all the facts that we got wrong or right?
Or email us at not at couple pine spot. Email us at couplepinespot@gmail.com and we'll set up a Zoom call.
Yeah,
we'll do
maybe you
Oceans
have a
Part
project.
2.
Maybe you have a project working on that you can promote on the podcast.
Anyway, okay, that's wild. So sharks can literally smell blood from now a quarter mile away, which is still insane. Still fucking insane. How far is a quarter mile? I don't know.
Too far to run.
You're the healthy one. I should say that.
I beat you to it.
Excuse me.
So why in the world do you think so many different cultures talked about sea serpents up until the point where they were even drawn and written about in books? Do you think it was the oarfish?
See, that's what I don't get. Well, there's oarfish that grow, but they're really only around Japan. Because I also watched a documentary about that recently.
Dude, you're a documentary whore.
I've been eating and smoking a lot more weed recently. I know for the entirety of this podcast, I have not smoked weed, but I kind of got back into it because I found weed that doesn't make me want to kill myself. And the oarfish mostly exist around Japan, but they can grow infinitely.
I just want to die.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've been saying.
Reality is pain.
But then you also have to think about like eels because those are everywhere. Like eels in the Amazon. We have eels up here, moray eels.
Yeah.
Then there's sea serpents in warmer waters around like Africa, Australia, Thailand, shit like that. So I feel like every place has its version of like a sea serpent, whether it's a literal serpent, meaning snake.
Here we go.
Or if it's like an eel or an oarfish, or just like you could even think about like there's a fish called I think it's called a ribbon fish, and it kind of looks like an oarfish.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. I just had a thought. So you know how
ribbon eel?
Ribbon eel?
Ribbon fish is a real thing. Yeah, those kind of look like sea serpents.
A little bit.
Put a picture in right here.
Yeah. The situation of you're a crew on a pirate ship or some sort of exploration ship. You set down one of your side boats so a crew member can go to the island and make sure it's safe to land, that there's no reefs or anything. That crew member gets down into the ship and is rowing to shore. Next thing you see is them die. You don't know why.
What do you mean? What? They're just like,
they're rowing, and then all of a sudden, yeah, they pass out. You get to the small ship because it floated ashore, and you see a water snake, highly venomous, but a water snake.
Yeah.
I think they were such exaggerators that even if one of their crew members died from a tiny little water snake,
oh yeah,
they would draw a giant serpent that ate the whole ship.
They were macho as fuck. Yeah. So it'd be like, yeah, no, 100%.
That's where my mind went.
That might be the most rational thing you have ever said on this podcast.
It makes sense.
That's what I've been trying to say. Like, that's why all these different countries or ancient civilizations from now modern countries have all these versions of Cthulhu, because I'm sure some dude saw like a fucking squid and was like, freak the fuck out.
Holy shit.
As one would be if you can't just Google it. And then he draws this elaborate thing with a human body and fucking tentacles and teeth and all this other shit.
Maybe we're all being
that's
played.
The point I was trying to make. You literally just brought it full circle. That's the point I was trying to make like half an hour ago.
High five. Yes.
Also, we're getting deep. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, we can wrap it up because we're now that we've brought it full circle. If we keep talking, we're definitely just gonna read.
We're not getting deep. We're actually resurfacing at this point.
Oh, hey, we're coming up for air.
Yeah.
Ooh,
like a goddamn motherfucking sperm whale. All right.
Well, this has been
a couple fine spots.
Safe to say,
don't shit in the water.
Don't you dare fucking shit in the water.
Don't make that brown chum, baby.
If you fucking shit in the water, you'll die.
See you next week. Love you.